Today, we're out here at Focal Knot Conference, and I'm going to be showing you through my workflow in Capture One. With me today, two cameras, the Leica Q2 Ghost, as well as the Sony A7R Mark V and the 50mm f1.4 G Master. This is an incredible lens for a full wedding day, or kind of what we're doing today, which is kind of a portfolio shoot, but kind of also environmental portraits of the attendees as well, and just kind of some behind the scenes. I feel like it very closely mimics what a wedding day is. We're gonna go out, we're gonna take some pictures, and we're going to be heading into Capture One to edit those images throughout this video. Oh, here we are inside of Capture One. I've already done an import on a few of the images, a few behind the scenes photos, a few of the main images, and I'm going to do a bit of an editing walkthrough and show you some of the things that I enjoy the most about Capture One. Number one, well, we're going to talk about that in the next clip on location, but look at how good this image looks just imported like this. That almost looks ready to go, in my opinion. Over here, in style, you have your looks that you can add. I actually really like the fashion one. The word fashion, I feel like it's a bit of a weird, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna click the fashion button. It's gonna be fashion. But honestly, it looks pretty darn nice. Another one of the things that really sets Capture One apart is that when you come over here into adjust, and you actually get a skin tone button here. So for your colors, you're used to seeing these colors that you can adjust the hues, the whatever, but you're not used to seeing skin tone. So you can select skin tone here, and you can adjust that skin tone, and you can add lightness to it. You can do whatever you want to do. And you really have great control over skin tones. For myself as a wedding and portrait photographer, I am very, 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 very happy about this. Coming back here into styles, you actually have, so my fashion style right here, but you can actually build layers. So if you want to add a little bit of warmth here, it actually overrides your look and adds a little bit of warmth, which is very, very helpful for when you want to have a consistent color palette across all the images that you're shooting. But maybe some of them are backlit, some of them are incandescent, and you want to make specific adjustments just to those. One of the things I like the most about Capture One, or maybe the thing that I like the most, is that all the import profiles, so if you're shooting, regardless of what camera you're shooting, if you're bringing that raw file into Capture One, the import was actually put together by the people that work at Capture One. So a human being sat there and actually fine-tuned that import profile. So you will notice that when you import an image into Capture One, a raw file, it's going to look better than another competitor that we're not going to talk about in this video. But side by side, it is just incredible to look at your work in Capture One. And that is probably my favorite. I guess that's kind of the core of it, that's where it all begins. And they've done that incredibly well. And it's something that I don't know, it just makes me happy. When I load up the photo, I'm like, it looks better than it did in real life. So coming back here into Capture One, and again, this image was pretty good right off the start. So I have added a few things. This is the before image. This is the after image. There's obviously like a little bit's been done to it, but just the default import profile, it is called Sony A7R Mark V Pro Standard. You also have a generic as well, and you can select if you want to import this as though you shot this on an Olympus camera. You can do that if you want. I don't recommend it. The Pro Standard looks amazing in my opinion. So this is the before, which looks like a final image to me. And that's the after, which also looks like a final image to me. Skin tones and everything, obviously a little bit better in this. Another thing I want to show you is the layers. So I apologize to Ben for testing this on him, but I'm going to come over here into adjust. Obviously you have all of your regular tools that you would ever need to use. But the cool thing is I can add layers. So right here, what I want to do is I'm going to do a kind of a quick and dirty retouch, we'll call it. I do this for a lot of images that maybe if I'm going to be posting them on an Instagram story, that it's not going to be a big printed image. I'll do a new heel layer, and I will actually just do something kind of like this. And then I'll make sure that it's pulling from actual skin and not a random leaf. And something like that. That was pretty good. Same deal. Put it right about there. Look at that. And you can adjust this. So this is with 0% opacity, 100%. I leave it somewhere around there maybe. And there you go. Very quick little healing retouch here. Do we hit it with the fashion again? I don't know. It looks really good. I like all the spring presets too. I really enjoy that, but I don't know. The fashion's kind of doing it today. I'm gonna bump back here and just add a little bit of exposure. And you can do this either by adding a little bit of warmth here, or you can come down here under my circle head, or you can come down here, or you can come down here under my circle head, and you can add a little bit of a warm look. So maybe we'll do that. That looks pretty darn nice. So thanks to Ben for being our test subject here. Do you guys all want headshots? Focal headshots? Focal headshots.
Headshots where I'm wearing glasses.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna crane my neck.
Is this the Carolyn Tran method?
Yes.
Beautiful. And for us as wedding photographers, another really cool tool in Capture One is, I'm going to call it kind of an assisted culling. They call it groups. So enable groups here whenever you're importing. Come over here to similarity and you dial it up, say you dial it up to 90, 91%. And it's grouping all these images together. So all of these are the same. This is different enough that it's also out of focus. That was my bad. It's not Capture One. And then this one is a little bit different. So there's a few different versions. There's 4 different versions of this image. There's 1 different version of this image out of focus of Sam looking at the camera. And then there are 8 different versions of Sam looking at his phone on this chair. And I appreciate Capture One making my decision-making process and my workflow just a little bit easier. Also, Jason Vincent has just sent me a few images that he shot of Lindsay and I that were edited in Capture One while I was recording this video. Here they are on the screen. Dang, Jason. And if you were in his sold out class at WPPI, you got to watch these images being edited live in Capture One. And that man is a magician. And I think a lot of people went home from that class and immediately signed up to Capture One. Back to what we're doing though. Focal, not a conference. We're gonna hop into the Spring 01. That looks pretty nice. Some behind the scenes images. Got one here of Jacob. I'll move myself over here to show you more. So as you can see here, anytime I click one of the styles, a check mark appears and it appears up here. And when I click new things, say I want to come down here, I want to add a little bit of film grain, I want to add some intense film grain to Jacob, you'll see it gets added on top of this layer. Then we'll come up here and we're gonna add some velvety warm. And that's looking pretty darn nice. Now I've saved my personal favorite feature for last here. Capture One calls it Smart Adjustments, and I'm going to come to this photo. I'm going to say that this is the photo. This is the one that I've edited, and I want to sync some of my other photos to look similar, knowing that they're going to be in different lighting conditions. So some are going to be a little bit brighter. Maybe there's going to be a little bit more direct light, more side light, but I want the white balances and I want the exposures to be consistent from this image across a variety of others. I want my work to be nice and consistent when you're clicking through the gallery. So I'm going to set this as the reference image. Then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to apply that. And now I'm going from image to image. They feel nice, right? And we're going to come in here later in the day, completely different scene. Editing to match. This doesn't require you uploading anything to the cloud or running any sort of processor intensive software. It just does it nice and quickly. And I think that's another thing to be mentioned about Capture One is how fast the entire program just runs and it just works. Everything just feels great. I never feel like I'm waiting for the program to do something and for it to catch up that I've already done 3 things and I'm 5 clicks ahead. I never feel like that in Capture One. It keeps up with me even if I'm a little bit ADD and all over the place. It is no problem at all. And while I love the spring pack, that looks really nice. It's a very nice photo of Jacob. I took so many photos of Jacob. The default styles that actually come built in, black and white contrast, black and white neutral, and fashion, even though it's called fashion. I am super happy with these. So the built-in profile that has been built by hand, by human beings for the camera that you have alone feels really darn nice. And then these 3 really just kind of step it up. And if I only had these and maybe some the warm that's down here, do some warm look 1. Warm look 2, where is it? Right here. I'm in a bit of a weird lighting scenario. So even with those alone, I'd be pretty happy. You can obviously build your own styles or you can buy your styles, but it gives you a good starting point. And I feel like it makes it's similar, at least in my mindset, similar to almost film photography, that you almost don't want to do too much to the image because the image comes in and it looks great. It looks very natural. It looks very 3-dimensional and real to life, that you don't really want to screw it up too much. I'll also mention that the neutral black and white looks very, very similar. So this is the Leica Q2 image, and this is a JPEG that's monochrome, natural, I believe. And this is highly regarded as one of the nicest black and white conversions you can ever get. I don't know, that's pretty close. That is darn close. So this is a Leica Q2 straight to camera JPEG. And that is my color photo. So when you shoot the raw file, you get the color version, unless you're shooting a monochrome camera. And when it loads into Capture One, it'll be in color. But this black and white neutral preset gets so darn close to that exact look and feel that I love from this Leica Q2. There it is, Capture One. Thanks for watching this video. Head on over to the link in the description if you're interested in picking up your own copy of Capture One, editing photos like we did in this video. Thanks for joining us here at NADA Conference in Las Vegas. There's also a link in the description to other NADA conferences. Here it is on the screen. If you want to come shoot some portfolio, it's a heck of a lot of fun. And process those images in Capture One. Till next time, I'm Taylor. And goodbye. We're waiting for pizza, so I don't have anywhere to go. The pizza comes this way. Here it is.